it's hard having a child that got asthma, because it's like you trying to be that you trying to be Superman, or Superman trying to stop the bullets to protect them.
My daughter Portia had asthma attack once when I was at work, and my older daughter Jasmine, actually saved her life because her lips had turned blue, and so her oxygen had cut off.
My chest usually like tightens up really bad, or to the point where I feel like I got shortness of breath.
I miss many hours of sleep at nighttime because I'm watching him breathe. I'm touching his chest, okay, he's still going. So it's scary.
I work with children as a nurse practitioner with asthma. It's very challenging, and I actually work a lot with children of lower socioeconomic status in my role. And it is a very tough population to work with because there is high acuity. When children are limited to access to care, there's a lot of chaos in the home.
A lot of them don't have specialists. They don't really get a lot of the more individualized care that you'd like to have with asthma, and as a result they end up with a lot more emergency room visits.
The challenge for me is actually education and to really help them understand more about asthma, about the medications, how they work.
I guess with the asthma studies we really saw an opportunity to reach out to a population in need. I know that at all of the intake visits, you really saw people that were looking for information.
The first study with asthma actually had laptop computers that were provided to caregivers of children to learn more about asthma, and that was our primary target. In the second study, we provide mobile technology to teens, was our goal, so that they'd learn more about asthma. Empowering them to, and really targeting teens so that they could learn the disease themselves, learn how the medications work, have access to case management.
We also provided the teens with the opportunity to connect with one another and see how other kids their age are handling their asthma through things like message boards. There's also access to things like personal stories of teens that have been dealing with asthma and how they've kind of overcome and moved on with their lives while still dealing with having asthma.
We ended up enrolling over 200 teens who received Medicaid services in the inner city of Milwaukee. The intake visits themselves consisted of obtaining baseline pulmonary function, reviewing medications that they're taking, and actually doing intake surveys with both the parent caregiver and the teen.
Some of the tools that we use to help the kids manage their asthma were things like the medication tracker, where the kids can come in and enter the medications that they're using and then receive reminders about when and how to take those medications. They also had the opportunity to add their asthma action plan into the phone. So the action plan is divided into zones, and those zones are based on how your symptoms are feeling. And so if you're green, you're good to go, but then if you're yellow or red, it means you're having some issues, and it lets you know what you're supposed to do next.
The study was really good. It helped me keep my asthma on, controlled. I was able to answer survey questions about it, to make sure that everything was okay with my asthma.
It kind of helped him to remind him to take the medicine, which was awesome, because it was like it helped me to where I don't have to tell him, Jeffrey, you got to take your medicine, because he was getting tired. Mama, will you not tell me that I got to take my medicine? In other words, when he say that, that's helping him to be responsible.
In the first asthma chest study, where we provided laptop computers to parents and guardians of children with asthma, the case manager role was a little different in the most current study, in that we actually met with the parents in the beginning and introduced ourselves, and we would call them monthly over the phone and discuss their children's symptoms.
Before you guys came in with the study, I had no support. It was like we'd go to the hospital, come home, I'd take care of him. My car is parked in the same spot all weekend or how many days, and no one bothered to come knock on the door or call the phone and say how things going, but the coach. And I said, and that made me feel good. I don't have this sick child in my house by myself because someone is calling me.
We learned a variety of things, but one thing that I really learned will take home with me is that there is importance and value to having a connection between a teen or a parent with a particular person, so an individual. So that ability to connect with one person, say be an asthma case manager, who can provide support and guidance and be ready, available to answer questions or to provide knowledge to them about asthma or another chronic health disease is a really important piece.
It brought a relief to me, and I believe that if anything else have not been learned, that part is the biggest, is having that support.